Here's to the dreamers, the builders, the fighters, the leaders, the people in the trenches. If y'all are tired, I promise I am too. Fewer words have been more true. Welcome to the Build Something Media Podcast. Your host is Justin Bethune.
Welcome to the Build Something Media Podcast. My name is Chris, and today I am joined by congressional candidate Jack Allen. Hello, Jack.
Hey, thanks for letting me be here. I'm so excited.
Thanks, man. Yesterday, it was a couple of days ago, I got a phone call.
Cold call. I do 100 a day.
That's right. And I just happened to pick it up. It was a kind of a random thing. I said, oh, it's a local number. I'll give it a shot. I picked it up. Congressional candidate on the phone, and I have to say I probably grilled you a little bit.
You grilled me a lot, and then we became best friends.
That's right. And then I invited you on the podcast, and figured take the opportunity to ask some questions and help people get to know
and I appreciate
who you are.
it. Yes.
Yeah. So let's jump into it. Obviously, I've looked at your resume. You have a background in finance. Is that correct?
I was president of a bank.
Yep. And so you've been retired for
a few years.
Yeah,
3 or 4 years.
And so now, don't have to do this. Like we were saying before you came in, you don't have to do this, but you've decided to throw your hat into the political arena. You want to give us kind of an overview of how that decision came about.
Let me make it as quick as I can because it's a long story. But I left banking. And let me tell you, I lived the Cinderella life. I really did. I grew up 20 miles down the road in a 2-bedroom house with 6 of us, and I was fortunate enough to go to Berry College when I could work my way through school, and I majored in accounting. I thought I was going to be an accountant, and I fell into the banking business. But along the way, I was a chicken catcher. I was a hay hauler. I worked in the carpet mills of Dalton. I worked in the chemical plants in Kensington. I was an automobile mechanic for 2 years. I've worked construction. I can lay tile. I can hang sheetrock. I've done it all along the way, and fortunate enough to wind up being president of a great community bank in Athens, Tennessee. Married a young lady from Appleton, Tennessee. Had a great life. And at some point, the board decided it was time to do something different. So we actually sold the bank, and I retired. Sadly, my wife had ovarian cancer at the same time, and she passed away. So I wake up one day, and everything I thought I was going to do is gone. Mm-hmm. My banking career and my family. I still have a daughter, but she's raised, she's grown, she's on her own. And so I started doing other things. I went back, I worked construction for a while because I like construction. I did a little bank consulting. But every day I would wake up and I would look at Washington and I would look at Congress. And listen, I'm like you. I got up every day for 40 years and went to work and worked on problems. And they're not doing it. They're just kind of doing distractions. Let's impeach somebody. But the real problems of the country are not being addressed. And I kept complaining about it. And I complained, and I talked to my friends. And this very close friend of mine looked at me one day and they said, you're talking a lot, but you're not doing anything about it. Why don't you do something? And then I said, well, what should I do? And so I started talking to some friends. We determined that this congressional race was wide open. 730,000 people in this district, and nobody's running other than Mr. Fleshman. And so the more I looked at it, I thought, this would be a great time to step out there and give a little different perspective of what's going on. And in a democracy, this is a democracy. It needs to have, other people should be involved. It should be at least a 2-party race, or at least 2 people in it, shouldn't it? But anyway, did I tell you too much? Am I okay now?
Oh no, you're good. You're good. I'm listening to what you have to say. Oh no, it's there's a million different ways we can branch off of there, And so was there a point at which you said, or a point or a policy or an event or something that where you said, okay, I have to kind of take this step now.
You really want to know the truth?
Yeah.
All right. I hate to even tell, but I'm at the point in my life. I don't have a job, and I'm not married, and I'm trying to figure out where to go with my life. And a friend of mine lives down in Florida. A bunch of old guys down there, and he said, "Why don't you come down here? You ought to move down here." So I said, "Well, I'll go down there and I'll look at some houses." And I went down to Florida, and I talked to a lot of people and sat around and. There were so many people down there, and I hate to say it this way, but they were complaining about things, but they really weren't doing anything about it. And I said, I don't think I'm this guy. I don't think I can go down here and play golf every day. So I came back to Chattanooga, And it was at that point I thought, what could I do to make the country a better place? At my point in my life, and I told you, I don't need a job, but I worry about you.
Mm-hmm.
I worry about grandchildren. If we don't take control of the situation, and people had, I mean, listen, it's been almost 30 years since anybody's really done anything productive.
Mm-hmm.
In 2001, we balanced the budget. Hadn't happened since. I mean, $34 trillion in debt, and nobody talks about it. Does that not bother you?
Oh, it definitely bothers me.
It bothers me every day.
The question is, I guess, what is it now? 30% of the total GDP that we have to spend, like in deficit spending every year.
Yes. Yes.
And that's insanity. How is that sustainable?
It's not
long term.
It's not. I mean, we are close to where it's not. And I don't know if I majored in accounting, and so I'm a numbers guy, and that's really how this got started, was because I kept looking at it and saying, this isn't going to work. But do you ever hear anybody up there talking about it?
Oh no, it's political taboo to talk about it.
It's political taboo. So you need somebody like me who has. I mean, if I don't get reelected because I tell the truth, well, there it is. And that's another thing, is one of the reasons these guys don't do what, and I'm going to defend them just a little bit. Congressional, 2 years. So as soon as you get elected or reelected, you're running again.
Yep.
So what are you going to do? You're going to not do anything controversial. You don't want to do anything that's going to make people mad, and you're going to try to raise money. And that's what you do. And so that's why Congress does things like, last year, I think almost half of their legislation was naming post offices. I'm serious.
Oh, no, I believe you.
And like I said, I'm kind of halfway defending them, because they're sitting there saying, well, if I tackle this debt, or if I tackle gun safety, or if I tackle border, somebody's not going to like it.
Right.
And it might cost me my job. And it's
and now what we're seeing with kind of runaway inflation, right? What people don't realize is when you start spending more than you can afford, and you have to print money, you have to double the quantity of money in the money supply. You're essentially adding a tax on the dollar after the fact.
Exactly.
Right. Who was it? Milton Friedman.
Too many dollars chasing too few goods and services.
Right.
Economy
Exactly.
101.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so, I think that we're kind of at a point where we're going to have to reckon with that in a real way. And doing that takes courage.
And that's why I'm doing this. And listen, if I don't get elected, but I make people think, I will have done my job. We need to know we've got to make tough calls here.
Sure.
And it's not going to feel good. It's going to be painful. We're going to have to adjust taxes. Don't ever say raise, say adjust.
Mm-hmm.
No, but seriously, we're going to have to adjust the tax. But before we do that, we're going to have to curtail spending. Because if you're going to tell people they might have to pay a little bit more taxes, you're going to have to look them in the eye and say, but you know what? Every dollar that we're using it wisely.
You have to tell them why.
Newt Gingrich.
It's going to have to, there's going to have to be value behind those dollars.
Newt Gingrich,
Yeah.
Bill Clinton, those guys didn't even like each other.
Mm-mm.
But they got in a room together. They figured it out. That's what's got to happen. We got to find people who are bold enough to figure it out.
Well, I think an even better example, and I don't know if Justin would like this example very much, but is Jimmy Carter. I think Jimmy Carter made some courageous decisions that kind of saved the American economy that he doesn't get any credit for.
No.
But they were necessary, and they were bold, and they ultimately saved a lot of people a lot of grief.
Yeah.
In the long term. Now, I think I disagree with the taxation part in terms of raising taxes. I don't necessarily.
I didn't say raise.
You didn't say raise.
I did not say raise taxes.
But
I said slight adjustments.
Semantics.
Well, you don't adjust until you work. You got to work this side first. You got to work this side first,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you work this side,
Yes.
and you've done all you can, then you may listen.
So then let's look at I guess the next question is, where do those adjustments get made on the front end? Where we call them cuts or adjustments or whatever, but ultimately there are things that get money that you have to take money away from. And so what does that look like? Where would you start trying to start those conversations at?
Well, it's now you're asking me the hard questions. Yeah, so I gotta get my head into it. But I'm an accountant.
Right.
That's what I did for a living. I balanced budgets for 40 years. And so I got to, do I know the answers now? No, but would I know them? Yeah. I mean, but I got to get my head into it. I mean, for instance, we keep talking about Social Security. We talk about, does anybody want to talk about that? No.
I do.
You do.
I do, because I do. But I'm a very strange person sometimes.
But and listen, we have a lot of smart people in this country that we got to get their head into it and help us. My job is really, and I told you in the beginning, I said I majored in accounting as a banker, but I'm a salesperson. That's really what I am. So you're going to have the smartest people, and this is what I did in my banking history. I surrounded myself with the smartest people I could find, and I let them figure out how we needed to do it, and then I sold it.
Now, so I guess my next question is a little bit of an oddball.
Okay.
A lot of politicians say that. Politicians say that they'll surround themselves with the smartest people. I guess what defines a smart person?
Well,
I know that's a real difficult question.
No. Let me give you an example. I met this morning, had coffee with an attorney, and he looked me in the eye and he said, and when I go and I tell people all the time, this is my campaign. First off, you got to be there. You got to show up. I go to the folks. You have to listen, and you have to be respectful. Now, I sat down with an attorney this morning who I cold called just like you, and he didn't like everything I had to say. And I said, well, hey, let's have a cup of coffee. And we spent an hour and a half today, and he gave me 4 or 5 things that he said, are you thinking about these things? I said, well, I'm kind of thinking about it. He said, you need to think more of them, because he's a 30-something. These are the things that matter to him.
Yep.
It's guys like him that I would pull into our group. I've got 3 people working for me now that none of them are 30 years old. The way they see the world is a lot different than the way I see it. But I have to listen to them because this is their world now. It's not mine. I would have.
Well, let me back up. I'm going to disagree with that.
Okay.
I have a teenager.
Okay.
And I love him, and he's a brilliant person for a teenager.
Right.
Okay. Somebody under 30, I know what it's like to be under 30.
Right.
I was not as capable or as knowledgeable as I am now at 38. And that's just a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And I did grow up with technology, and so I do have. Yeah. There was a transition point that I think that maybe you missed as with part of your generation, but the transition point, like since I was a kid, I've been in this. So it's. I'm gonna disagree because I understand a lot of the consequences of the decisions of technology use better than a 20-something would at any day of the week, and I would argue that with anyone, and probably do it successfully. So I think that removing other voices like yours, people from your generation who are still very much voters, and who still very much have opinions, and who still very much don't necessarily respect or agree with the opinions of a 20-something, that I think that's disrespectful almost.
Well, and look, we're not removing them. I'm just saying we're listening to them, but you still got to have granddad out there who's lived through it. And let me give you an example.
Sure.
This inflation thing's horrible. It's horrible. But you know what? I had a house one time at 18%. Remember, you're not old enough to remember the crazy interest rates.
It was with Carter.
Yeah. I had a house at 18%. It took me almost 10 years, and we had inflation through the roof. I mean, this inflation was nothing like what we had. It took me 10 years to recover from that, to finally get myself back on feet. We're in a similar situation now. But what young people need is people who've lived through it before, and the reason, I grew up listening to the World War II generation and those folks and all the hardships. We're in a hardship time now, and so you need some people with some maturity to say, look, but we've got to stay focused and we've got to fix it one piece at a time. And that's everything I look at is a long-term fix. It's not a short-term fix. Sure. And I think the problem we have now is I call it the microwave world. You want to fix the border? Hey, build a wall. You want to fix guns? Take them all away. I mean, it's none of it's a quick fix. It's a 10-year fix, but it's not going to be fixed unless you recognize it, you talk about it, and you work together to fix it.
Okay. So you mentioned the border a couple of times. Let's talk about the kind of your position on that. So
and
because it's a complex situation, there's a lot happening and moving pieces, and you have the issues with folks coming from South America, from Mexico, from Central America. Now there's a growing concern that there's a lot of immigrants who are coming from China as well. What are your thoughts on?
Well, it's interesting. I was sitting in the car. I was almost late because I was listening to the president. Sure. He just announced that he's shutting the border down after all this time. But here's the thing. We're all immigrants. Every one of us. Everybody sitting there, we're all immigrants. Our birth rate in this country is 1.6%. Mm-hmm. We're not replacing ourselves. We need probably at least a couple of million people to come into this a year in this country to keep the lights on. I mean, it's important that we get people in this country. The problem is in the last 30 years, it's become political, and nobody has addressed an immigration system that works. And so I'm hoping, President Biden was bold enough to, he's slowing it down. You got to slow it down. I had a guy who owns a construction company. He came to me and he said, "Would you do me a favor?" I said, "What?" He said, "Go down to the border, sort people out, give them a Social Security card and a work visa, and tell them come back in 5 years and you could be a citizen." He said, "I can't find people to work." And so it's a double-edged sword. You like to say, "Oh, immigration's bad and all these people flooding across the border," but then this construction guy over here, he can't find people to work.
I'd ask him what his pay rate is.
No, it's no.
No. I mean, I'm being that's an honest question. Yeah. What are you paying people? And is the reason that you're hiring the folks who are coming over the border because you can pay them a lot less?
I think he's hiring them because it's the only people he can find. I had a roof put on my house. I knew the contractor. And everybody that was working on my roof, you could tell wasn't born here. Mm-hmm. And I looked at him and I said, "What's the story?" And he said, "These are the best workers I've ever found." And I went out and talked to them, fed them some lunch. They were as happy as they could be, but they're happy to work. And this is, let me say this, and this is, go ahead.
Well, my next question would be, if we have laws, should we enforce them then?
Yes.
Okay, so if someone enters the country illegally.
That's what's happening right now.
Yeah. And that's my question. If they're already here illegally as well, what happens then? I'm not suggesting any sort of fix. I'm just asking you because you're running for Congress.
Oh, you expected a fix? Nobody had one in 30 years, but I should have it. No,
hang on. There was one under President Obama. President Obama did have the in place. I don't remember exactly what it's called in Mexico. That where people stayed in Mexico while they were seeking their visa.
All right.
And that worked. And the number of people crossing over the border was significant, like 30x less.
But do you know why?
Why? Because it was more difficult to get into the country.
No. I'll tell you exactly why. And you go back and look at the numbers. Mm-hmm. You got Obama and Biden, right?
Sure.
Lowest number of crossings. Now you got Biden, biggest number of crossings. Mm-hmm. Same guy. What's going on? If you go back to the Obama years, do you remember the big depression we went through for 5 years?
In 2008.
Yeah. You remember that?
Yes.
No jobs. They're not coming. Guess what's happening now? Jobs everywhere. So it has nothing to do with it. It's all supply and demand. Everything is supply and demand. There is demand. And if there's demand, they're coming. And I mean, you just look at the numbers.
Well, I mean, at that point in time, there was also border enforcement.
Yeah, but if there had been jobs, they'd have flooded over it.
But also there was border enforcement, and that hasn't been happening until now. Yeah. I'm giving the president his. Yeah, but I'm not anti Joe Biden. I'm as independent as anybody can be.
I'm just telling you, if there are jobs, and I'm over here saying, get over here, we got you a job. People are coming.
And so my question, I guess, next would be, if you have American citizens who are saying, hey, now I get paid less because we're letting those folks come in, what do you say to those people?
Well, I hadn't had anybody say that to me. Have you?
I mean,
there are jobs out there.
if you talk to blue collar workers, I bet you could get a few. Yeah.
Well,
what do you think, Justin, as the person who employs blue collar workers?
Do y'all really want my opinion on this?
Yeah, tell us what you think.
No.
Yes. Listen, this is a 30-year problem.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer, but I do listen, and I want an answer.
I think a lot of it, and a lot of people don't want to address it or hear it, is lack of work ethic in American society. It really is, because I'm a contractor and I have several crews, and my roofing crews that I sub out to are all Hispanic. You are not going to find very many crews of American-born roofers, and those guys make more money than my guys that make $25 an hour, because they get paid by the job. They want to get paid by the job, and they get it done. They will roof this house. They did. They roofed this house in a day.
Well, I'm so glad.
I'm just playing the contrarian.
No. I'm so glad you told that story, because I was going to tell it, but I didn't. But when they roofed my house, let me tell you, they showed up at 6 o'clock in the morning. They ate lunch on the roof.
Exactly.
They ate lunch on the roof. One of the guys had a bad cut on his hand from cutting things, and I looked at it and I said, we need to get you to the hospital to get some stitches. You know what he did? He put duct tape on his hand, and his supervisor said he's not leaving because he's not going to lose an hour's work. And at 6 o'clock in the evening, they were done.
Yep.
Now, thank you for saying that, because there is a work ethic, and
there's no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, because when you go back to talking about, Chris, you were saying, like, how much are you paying? It doesn't matter. You're paying people hourly. Just because you're paying more hourly doesn't mean they're going to get more done in that hour.
But you're more likely. But you are more likely to find someone who, if you're paying a higher wage, you are more likely to find someone who will do that work at that higher level for that.
But in construction, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get the best labor by paying by the job and letting those guys run themselves independently.
Yeah.
And I've had more success with Hispanic crews than I have with
they understand.
American, quote unquote.
They understand.
And understand that I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I'm looking at it through the political periscope, which is 10,000 miles high.
Yeah.
10,000 feet high. And so, like, when you're looking at it that way, it's very different than when you hear this story here.
Right. Right.
But also, you hear the story about your guy who, when you had to hire a second crew, who's worried that he's gonna lose his job because maybe he's not as fast as the other guy is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and
so
you try to take care of everybody.
Landscape.
So he needs to pick up the pace.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
That's right. That's the idea.
But then my taxes on everything are so high, I've got to go with the cheap. No, I'm just kidding.
Let me tell you what I think the biggest challenge we have as a country is.
Sure, let's hear it.
And I talk to people all the time. You think about this. Everybody, or not everybody, almost everybody, including my ancestors, your ancestors, we all came here for a better life, and we all knew that we were going to have to work for it.
Yes.
I don't care whether it's my crowd from your crowd, the guys coming across the border, the Chinese that built a railroad.
100%.
Everybody. Now, what is the genetic makeup of somebody who will cross the ocean to come work? Not everybody does it. So we're a pretty aggressive bunch of folks. I mean, you look at us, and then you look at Europe. They're over there drinking. Well, I shouldn't say that, but it's a different lifestyle.
It is.
Not here. Look at you. You guys probably you're probably going to work till 8 o'clock tonight. I mean, you guys going to do that.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's like me. I'm at the point in my life where I ought to be out on the golf. I don't want to play golf. I want to keep going.
Yep.
It's our genetic makeup. So that's the beauty of it. But the problem is herding everybody together.
Yes.
That's the issue.
Oh, for sure. I mean, when you start when cultures converge, especially in mass, then you tend to end up with some turbulence.
Yeah,
as a result of it. And don't take this as me being anti-immigration. I am not. No. Some of the hardest working people I know in the world are immigrants, and they deserve everything that they have, no doubt. Yeah. I just have to play the devil's advocate because that's who I am.
I was speaking to a group of people who are U.S. citizens, but they all immigrated.
Yeah.
I was chatting with them, and I said, "Here's the deal, guys. I can go to China, but I can never be Chinese. I can go to Japan, but I can never be Japanese. But I can come to America and I can be an American. And those folks out there smile. I said, you are Americans. That's the most important thing you are. That's your first label.
Now,
okay.
What does it mean to be American?
Well, it means you get up and you go to work every day and you pay your taxes and you obey the laws and you have the right, just like I did. See, now I worked 2 jobs for 13 years when I was younger. I worked 2 jobs for 13 years. You have the right to make it. You have that opportunity to make it. And you talk about those Chinese guys, all these people crossing the border. I was listening to a podcast.
Yep.
And they tracked a Chinese guy down and his daughter who crossed the border. And they tracked him down. He was in San Francisco. And they said, okay, tell us the story. He said, my family owns some apartments in China. He said, we were pretty well-to-do people. And he said, one day the government came in. They said, we need this land because we're going to build a factory. And he says, well, what do we get out of it? I said, nothing. You're gone. And he said, we were well enough off that we had passports. And he said, my daughter and I took our passports and we flew to Central America and we paid to come up that horrible trip to come across the border, went to San Francisco, and he's delivering packages in San Francisco, living in a small little whatever. But he said, I would rather be in this country delivering packages, knowing that if I deliver enough packages, I can keep it than back in China where I may work myself my entire life and the government come along and take it away from me.
Hey, Justin, I think Jack may have just made the argument for your Airbnb thing that we were talking about earlier. It
could be worse.
Yes, that it could be worse, and that there is a slippery slope that you always kind of ride when you start dealing with any form of government.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we won't go into that.
but we're sitting here talking about immigrants. Sure. We're all immigrants. We're all immigrants.
Sort of.
Well,
sort of.
Most of me.
I understand that argument from at least the level of like a story. Like everybody has an origin.
Sure.
Yeah. And they're not all the same. I think there is a security piece that we run into when you don't have the necessary checks in place. Well, that's why we have the systems in place. And I'm not disagreeing that maybe the systems should be expedited, or maybe we should give more resources to those systems. But I'm saying that they're in place to protect the people already here from potential threats.
We're in total agreement on that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 30 years of neglect, really.
Right. Yeah. Because, like I said, for every 10 people that are really great human beings coming across that border, maybe there's one that's bad. But if you have 10 million, that's a lot of people who are bad. You get what I'm saying?
Small number times a big number is a big number.
That's right. That's right. And so it's how do you necessarily measure the between the compassionate part, which is important, and the security part, which is equally important.
Well, that's what I hope is happening today.
Right. Yes, me too. Yes. Before you go, let's go into 5 minutes. Justin said we have 5 minutes to talk about healthcare before he has to leave. And he does switch. We have to do this again sometime before you get back and before the election is over. But let's talk about healthcare. Just kind of an overview of where you stand, what you're trying to accomplish. And know we talked about the financial portion of it and the national debt. Healthcare, adding things to that would make that difficult. Taking things away from that would be difficult in the current state. And so that's a big can of worms there that we have to look at.
It is, and I don't even know where to start. I spent 6 years on the hospital board of a small hospital.
Sure.
So I understand the challenges in a hospital. Mm-hmm. I spent 4.5 years as a caregiver for my wife who had cancer. I understand the challenges of a patient. The system does not work really well. That's why we have 2 doctors who are on our campaign that are working on healthcare issues, healthcare reform. I mean, nobody wants to talk about it, and I'm sure not going to talk about it. But long term, there probably has to be some sort of a national safety net like every other country, every other civilized country in the world. But like I said, our situation is we're so far gone now with the system that we've got. It's got to be fine tuned. I don't know the answers. I know that the president has tried to limit prices on certain drugs. I don't know if I told you, but I'm the caregiver for my mother-in-law. My wife was an only child. The reason I'm in Chattanooga is because I'm taking care of my mother-in-law. I've been keeping up with her or taking care of her for 10 years. I got a call yesterday about a new drug that she might need. Now she's 91 years old, and the copay was $350.
Yep.
And I said, I need to know more about this drug. Now they hadn't called me back yet, but I don't understand it. Healthcare is a problem, and the answers.
I got a book for you.
Okay.
I think you might like that, particularly with the current policy that we have in place with the Affordable Care Act, how it was kind of built and structured, and the legislation itself was formed. It was written by one of I think it was a Washington Post columnist who was there in all of the committee meetings and all that stuff as the legislation was formed. And kind of walks through how much influence all of these independent pieces had on structuring that legislation. So it's kind of a Frankenstein.
Oh yeah.
In terms of how it works, because it didn't actually do anything to help people like you when you're dealing with your wife. I'm sure you had to deal with the insurances and be on phone calls with people trying to get things paid for and not paid for.
Well, it did. It did because she couldn't be canceled.
Right.
I mean, that was big. I mean, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today had I been canceled.
Yeah.
I mean, I was.
No, and that's big.
Yeah. No, she was in an individual plan like that. So that was huge.
Oh no, I'm not saying that the Affordable Care Act was entirely bad. I'm saying that the way that it is piecemealed, made it functionally and structurally difficult to navigate, and that was by design. Because if they were getting the individual mandate, they would. I imagine not imagine. If you read the legislation, the insurance companies made it difficult.
Oh yeah.
To make the claims.
Yeah.
And so as a result, they have fewer claims, and so it kind of made up some of them. It's clever, is what it is. But
listen. I understand it all, and I mean, like I said, I understand from both sides.
Yeah.
Back to healthcare though, and this is something that the state should do. We're only one of 10 states that did not expand Medicare. Now, listen, we've had either 16 or 17 hospitals close in Tennessee. We're the largest, or the second largest. And this district that I'm in goes all the way almost to Kentucky. A lot of it is rural. And we have healthcare deserts up there because the healthcare is the ER or the ambulance, or they're 45 minutes from a trauma center. And so if we had done anything right, it would have been that the state of Tennessee, and everybody's looking at me and say, oh, Jack, that's a liberal thing. Well, it may be, but we're only one of 10 states that didn't do it, and we got closed hospitals right and left and communities that don't have health care. I think we made a mistake there. It's not too late to correct it, but that's not national. That's a state issue.
Sure. Yeah. And the problem, this is the problem that I have mostly with, and that the state, and I don't know what the strings that were attached to the money are. But I can almost guarantee you there were strings that were attached to it. And unfortunately, there is political posturing that occurs on both sides of the aisle. And, just like for a while, I believe it was California that banned certain things from other states that they disagreed with too.
Right.
And so, I mean, there's a lot of silliness like that happens when you start getting politics involved. And is it wrong? Yeah, it's wrong. Doesn't matter who's doing it.
Yeah.
So it's. We're going to end real quick here in the last few minutes. We'll talk about partisanship, kind of the divide. There's a large number of people in the country who are concerned about civil war. I mean, who thought that in 2024 we'd be sitting here talking about this? But, you're talking, 40-something% of people in the country think that that's a real possibility. And there's a desperate need for healing that divide and trying to build trust with the government again. So
I'm that guy.
Yeah. Tell us how that's going to happen. No, I hear you.
Listen, I spent my life pulling people together. When you run a community bank, you run a community. Now, I was in a community that was probably 70% Republican. I live on the D side. These were all my friends. We all worked together. we did. Listen, somebody asked me, they said, if you went to Washington, would you cross the aisle? I said, I would live on the other side of the aisle. My goal would be best friends with everybody, because that's how it starts. And we lost that. We lost those friendships. Somebody talked to me the other day, and they said, the more I talk to you, the more you seem like an old line Republican. Seriously. You know who one of my models is? Howard Baker. I went to Huntsville last week to pay homage to Howard. It's in our district. And I went there last week, and I talked to people in Huntsville, and we talked about Howard. You know, Howard Baker would say, the other guy might be right. That was his famous thing. And you may have listened to the podcast that they do. But his deal was always listen to other people, because they might just be right.
Yep. We
need more Howard Bakers. We need more Jack Allens, because I'm not going to. Listen, you're not going to make me mad. You're not going to hurt my feelings. You're going to tell me what. The guy I had breakfast with this morning, he started telling me about things. I said, tell me what you think. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I need to know. And so I think the most important thing we can do is circle the wagons and quit. Just quit fighting. In our campaign, you cannot use the word fight. You know how all these people say, I'll fight for you, I'll fight for you. That's been outlawed. You can't use it. You can say, we will work with you. We will work together. We will work as a team. But we're not fighting. The time for fighting is over.
Jack Allen?
Yes.
Thank you for joining us on the Build Something Media podcast.
Let's build something.
Yes, sir. This has been a nice conversation. We should do it again here in a little bit after you've talked to another 18,000 people.
Thank you, Chris.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Well, I thought that went